Let's just jump right in. Today, we are exploring a truly fascinating case in this explainer. The story of a Brazilian man who might actually force us to tear up the global history books and start over. I mean, have you ever wondered what it takes to outlive an entire century? We're going to look at some mind-boggling claims, intensely rigorous validation processes, and a life of such profound simplicity that it kind of challenges everything we think we know about human longevity. Let's get started.
So the story starts with a staggering possibility unfolding right now in the small town of Eloy Mendes, down in the state of Minas Gerais, Brazil. Tucked away in a local care home is a man named Luis Carlos dos Santos, though everyone just affectionately calls him Mr. Luisinho. For decades, he's lived this remarkably quiet, unassuming life. But recently, a massive question has surfaced. Could this quiet, under-the-radar resident actually be the oldest living person on the entire planet?
118 years. Just let the sheer magnitude of that number sink in for a second. To claim you've been on this earth for 118 years means you've lived through 2 world wars, the invention of the internet, and just sweeping, unrecognizable changes to human society. It's an age that completely defies modern medicine and, frankly, statistical probabilities.
Let's ground this in a bit of history. Looking at Section 1, the 11-year-old claim, stepping back in time to 1908.
To really wrap your head around how incredibly long a 118-year lifespan really is, we need to go back to February 15, 1908. That is the exact day Mr. Luisinho was born. To put that into perspective for you, 1908 is the very same year the legendary Brazilian writer Machado de Assis passed away. It's also the exact same year the famous Clube Atlético Mineiro football club was founded. Fast forward a bit through history, and by 1971, Luisinho moved into the Lar São Vicente de Paulo care home, meaning, as of 2026, he has literally been living in that same institution for 55 years.
So how exactly does someone live for over a century? Let's take a look at his daily life in Section 2. A century of simplicity, the unplugged routine of Mr. Luisinho.
You know, Mr. Luisinho is described as calm, reserved, and surprisingly independent. He doesn't have some crazy, complex health regimen. Instead, caregivers say his favorite thing to do is collect stones in the yard and carefully align them. It's just a peaceful, therapeutic habit. And get this, he also smokes straw cigarettes. While he has lost the ability to speak over time, he remains perfectly aware of everything going on around him, communicating easily through gestures and head movements. But the absolute wildest part of his routine? He takes 0 continuous medication for chronic diseases like diabetes. Nothing. He only takes everyday vitamins. This unbelievable resilience even saw him completely avoid serious complications during the COVID-19 pandemic.
When you look at the numbers, Luisinho's longevity is a massive statistical anomaly. According to data from the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, the average life expectancy in Brazil was 76.6 years in 2024. Mr. Luisinho, claiming to be 118 in 2026, is beating the national average by over 4 decades. I mean, that is an astonishing outlier.
But how do we know this is actually real? Let's get into the bureaucracy of age in Section 3, the verification process, rank Brazil versus the world. The whole journey to official recognition actually started super simply. A social media post about his age went viral and caught the eye of Rank Brazil. They're the organization that handles national records in the country. They reached out to the care home, and the staff there started digging through these old registry office records. And wouldn't you know it, the documentary analysis officially confirmed the care home's claim. Luisinho was indeed born on February 15, 1908. Rank Brazil actually went ahead and officially ratified his national record right on his 118th birthday.
But hold on a second. Claiming an age locally and getting recognized globally are 2 wildly different realities. Despite that Brazilian registry confirmation and the Rank Brazil title, the global crown remains elusive. As of right now, he doesn't officially hold the international title of the world's oldest man.
Which brings us to the competition. Section 4. The Global Longevity Leaderboard, Untangling the Super Centenarians.
Let's try to untangle this complex web of current, rigorously vetted international record holders. Right now, Luisinho is up against verified supercentenarians like Japan's Tomiko Itaoka and the UK's Ethel Caterham, who are both 116. And the officially recognized oldest living man? That's Juan Marinho Neto, another Brazilian who is 113. If Luisinho's 1908 birth date is globally authenticated, he wouldn't just be the oldest man. He would surpass absolutely everyone. But displacing these verified supercentenarians requires passing the ultimate test. Validating a record globally is a painstakingly precise process. Organizations like Guinness World Records and LongeviQuest, they don't just glance at a single piece of paper. They require extensive, multi-point documentary evidence spanning a person's entire lifespan just to eliminate any tiny possibility of a clerical error or mistaken identity.
To really understand the level of exactitude we're talking about here, just look at Ethel Cataram. These organizations don't just track your age by the year, they track it down to the literal day. On April 1st, 2026, Ethel Cataram's age was officially marked at exactly 116 years and 223 days old. That intensely meticulous level of scrutiny is exactly what Luisinho's documents will have to undergo.
When we compare the currently recognized oldest man to Luisinho, the stakes become incredibly clear. We are looking at a staggering 4 to 5 year gap just waiting to be investigated. João Marni Neto sits at 113 years old. Luisinho claims 118. In the world of supercentenarians, a gap of 5 years is, well, it's an absolute eternity.
So, the entire global longevity leaderboard hangs in the balance as we wait in suspense. Will his old registry documents hold up to international scrutiny? If they do, the history books are going to be rewritten, and a quiet man who aligns stones in a Brazilian courtyard will instantly become a global icon of human endurance.
You know, whether he officially takes that global title or not, his century-spanning life is just an incredible testament to the human spirit. He worked for years as a farmer, never married, had no children, and really found this supportive community in his care home. He's quite literally witnessed more than a century of massive social, political, and technological changes, all while just remaining grounded in his simple, everyday routines.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. In an era where we are so obsessed with biohacking, complex diets, and endless daily supplements, here we have a man who smokes straw cigarettes and simply takes some basic vitamins, potentially outliving everyone else on Earth. What can his unplugged, peaceful routine actually teach us about the true secret to a long life? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to keep seeking the answers behind the facts.